I just want to ask Mr. Dalbariste something. And this was a response you made. It was about the letter that the plaintiff wrote your parents. And you said, I'm really humbled by that. And then you said, me, knowing how I am, I'm surprised I'm here right now. What did you mean by that?
By how Mr. Oliver disrespected my family, and I've only been asking him simply just to call my mom and apologize for disrespecting my family.
So why are you surprised you're here right now? Were you threatening him with some kind of violence? I mean, what did you mean by that?
No, I wouldn't want to threaten him. I'm saying in my own personal mind that this doesn't go on. Disrespecting my family and letting my family be a mockery to him and harassing me daily, like this doesn't usually go on. Like, that's not acceptable. But you know what? It humbled me for the simple fact of I don't want to put myself in more trouble or in any more danger or let alone harm him.
I understand. I won't ask you about the disrespect that the alleged victim of your DV feels. I will let you just process that for a moment.
Yes,
I don't have anything further.
We are going to deliberate at this time and excuse the both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
This courtroom is now in recess.
I'm a little bit speechless as to how intentionally obtuse this defendant is being. I mean, to suggest that the plaintiff took on this debt of his own free will, I mean, it is just a preposterous position.
Well, I think that the operation of his mind in the way that he's demonstrated here is probably at the core of why he keeps getting into these kind of situations.
He's just dense. He's volatile. He doesn't have any common sense, any decency, any humility, any of the things he wants to profess that he has. And this poor guy, he never should have made his bail because of what he did to the woman in the first place. But he did. He laid out the $2,500, because I don't believe he gave him $100. And you know what? He just wants him to apologize to his parents. This is a guy who goes to jail. He should be apologizing to his parents. I mean, come on.
Said.
And you know what? When you see how stressed we are up here, he certainly does deserve the $400 in emotional distress. I mean,
He's had significant personal issues.
Oh, yes, he clearly does.
And plus, you've got that debt hanging over you. I believe him when he says he's going to flee.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when the defendant says, why would I flee? I'm like, well, why do you
All
do
he
these other
needs to
things
do is be in jail on one of his new arrests, and the judge could forfeit the bail.
That's exactly
I mean, that's
right.
it. He'll forfeit the bail.
I sense that we're unanimous about a $3,000
You think so?
verdict.
I think we are.
Unanimity?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, yes.
Great. We've deliberated and we've reached a unanimous verdict. Mr. Dalbariste, you mentioned you have children. How many?
I have two.
Boy or girl?
2 boys,
How old?
6 and 12.
You think you're a good example?
I'm not the best example, ma'am.
Do you
but,
want them to know how to control themselves and control their temper and control their rage?
That's what I do help them with. Yes, ma'am, I do.
You think you do a good job at that?
Yes, ma'am.
I think the other lesson that you need to make sure you're teaching your children about is responsibility and stepping up to obligations. The notion that someone pays money to get you out of jail and you say that you don't owe them any money because they did that on their own is preposterous. It's laughable. It's offensive to this court and all three of us. I'm normally not one to take an apology lightly, but I take yours with a grain of salt. Because there is no way that someone could come to court with such a pig-headed defense and actually understand or appreciate his sense of responsibility, not just to the people who help him, but to his community. There is no way. And you look at me. If you want to stare somebody down, you stare me down.
I don't have nothing against you, ma'am.
It's not really a time. We're not having a back and forth right now. You talk about having this plaintiff apologize to your family.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, Judge Domingo hit the nail on the head in deliberation. You should be apologizing to your parents. You should be apologizing for bringing all of this drama on them. He didn't do it. You did.
You're right.
And don't say another word. I don't need validation from you. Mr. Oliver, we believe you have made your case. You've satisfied your burden with respect to the underlying debt and the emotional distress. Frankly, you gave him a break when you only sued for $400 in emotional distress. The unanimous judgment of this court is in your favor for $3,000. Good luck to you.